G'day, this is Captain Noob, and this is the Alien Disintegrator. This is the flagship weapon from the Alien Armory pack that you can get from the Creation Club, and its customization is pretty interesting, so let's get right into that. So first of all, we've got the barrels. So starting off, we've just got a short barrel and a long barrel. Obviously, the short barrel offer less range, but increased VATS efficiency. You've also got a splitter barrel, which works a lot like the plasma gun. Most of these barrels are like a plasma gun, so obviously this is the shotgun variant. You've got the sniper variant, which will add more damage at range and give you a little bit more range at the cost of rate of fire compared to the regular long barrel. You've got the atomizing mist barrel, which is basically like the plasma flamer, but it'll fire blue stuff, which is actually kind of cool to look at. Spinning barrel is automatic. You can tell it's got a high rate of fire, which would lead you to think that. And last but not least, we've got the Lobber barrel. Now, one of the weapons that didn't make it into this pack was the drone cannon, and one of its functions was just firing a big ball of electricity which would explode and do damage. So they've just chucked that on this weapon, and it's streamlined pretty well with the customization system. So yeah, let's get some use out of that first off. But what I want to do for this one, we're going to make this one a sniper. So what we want to do is chuck on either a reflex sight or a scope. The reflex sight, like the alien atomizer, is a thing that projects above the weapon. You can't actually see it in this preview transform, but you can see the scope, which is a lot like the standard scope from the alien blaster in the vanilla game. And you can change a stock to a marksman stock, which looks like it's painful, to be honest. Yeah, that's not a stock that I'd like to have, but it'll offer you a little bit better stats. And also you can put a fusion mag in if you're running low on the old alien blaster rounds, which this thing runs on. So that's basically it. There's a legendary effect if you want it. But at 237 damage, this thing doesn't seem like it's totally messing around, so we'll create one for each of these barrels so we can test them all out, and I'll see you where we usually go. Okay, here we are in Gunner's Plaza with multiple disintegrators in our inventory. This one has the lobbing barrel. I'll just quickly go through them. This one has the long barrel iron sights. This one has the mystifying barrel, the one that's like a plasma flamer. This one is the sniper. This one has the auto barrel. This one is the shotgun. And this one has a short barrel, and that is about it. So yeah, there's quite a bit to get through, but you probably want to see what the Lobber does first and foremost. So let's get stuck into these gunners using this thing, and hopefully if we can lob these projectiles into the room whilst they're over there. Obviously this thing looks like it's being enhanced by the Demolitions Expert perk, and I don't remember it being this good back in Fallout 3. They really overhauled this thing, and this one is particularly good for ammo efficiency because I'm only using one alien blaster cell while firing this, compared to something like the sniper barrel or any other barrel. I'll switch to this one. I've just two-shotted that guy, and he was a gunner conscript. He's kind of an enemy that you need to one-shot at this level, but we'll continue. We'll just make note of how awesome the Lobber barrel is after its disappointing effects and damage back in Fallout 3. So there's the long barrel there. There's not too much going on. I've just left the iron sights on just so you can see what they're like, and the scopes are more fitting for a weapon like the sniper variant. Anyway, so this is a flamer variant. As you can tell, we've just got plasma gun animations here. The weapon is full of glow maps, which is good. And unlike the plasma flamer, this thing actually doesn't do a whole lot of damage. Yeah, it kind of sucks. So I think we'll put this one away and probably never use it again. Then we'll switch over to our sniper one, which we have to reload first, and hopefully, no, we can't go back into caution, but this one's got a scope. It's just a basic crosshair. It's a little bit boring for alien weapons to have a basic crosshair like that, but maybe humans are kind of on point with all of the advanced civilizations using basic crosshairs. You'll also notice that this thing has a aggressive blue filter, so right now I'm getting reminded of Battlefield 3, which is kind of good. I like that game. Also, hello me, meet the real me. And also the way this game handles its lighting and the way its projectiles sort of work. Oh wow, the mysterious stranger finished off the other Captain Bridget. Yes, this thing blinds you when you fire it, which is really quite unfortunate. It's very seizure inducing, so I do apologize if you're having a seizure right now, because damn, that's not great. Okay, switching over to our automatic barrel. This one has a little bit of recoil to it. Not too much though, it's manageable. But you'll notice this thing's projectiles, like the atomizer, is slow. So using this thing at range is not advised because the enemies will simply just sidestep all of your projectiles. So it's not great. Turrets, on the other hand, they sit still, so you can easily pick those guys off, which is good. We'll quickly finish off the rest of these gunners in here. And for some reason, all of the lighting effects on this are particularly blinding to you. Unfortunately, there's nothing you can use like welding goggles to stop yourself from being blinded by that, but I guess it's supposed to simulate how bright it is with having everything else around it blinded. But maybe I need to find an EMB that doesn't really blind you all that much, because with these muzzle flashes, there's just a bunch of flashing lights. So I probably will put an epilepsy warning at the start of this video, because this is a little bit OTT, I think. Alright, so this is our shotgun barrel, giving us pretty good spread, actually. That's alright. Now this thing obviously has the slow projectiles as well, and it's doing okay damage. Probably a little bit better than what the automatic barrel gives, but we're firing at point blank range and being shot at quite a lot. So if you don't have the hit points to stand up to that kind of punishment, this thing is not that great. Also, the VATS AP usage isn't perfect either. Alright, so speaking of VATS, this one's got a short barrel and a reflex sight, and you do get a fairly good amount of decent shots with this in VATS. So maybe if you want to use this as a VATS-oriented build because you can't be bothered aiming yourself, then this is a fairly good choice for that. Keep in mind though that the shorter barrel will cut down on your range quite significantly. And here comes a mysterious stranger. Is he going to bother to fire? Yes, he is. They get disintegrated anyway. It looks like no matter how you shoot them, they just disintegrate all the time. Which is good for cutting down on RAM, I guess. Because sometimes... Oh, wait. That person didn't disintegrate. Or is it just that there's just two of them? Has that been happening the whole time? I might not have noticed. But almost done here in Gunner's Plaza. Unfortunately, there's no suppressed barrels here, so I doubt that we'll be getting too much good damage against a big monster like Swan. So I'm going to bring in this particular variant, the Lobber barrel, because this thing seems to have the most punch of them all. Probably the best barrel, to be honest. At least with my observations so far. Okay, let's see how our Lobber barrel does against Swan, and we're going to try this in VATS, because I have got no idea how this projectile would work in VATS. We seem to get quite a lot of points out of this, and you do sort of lob the thing up. They're just sort of bouncing around him. He's kind of out of the explosive radius, but when we do hit him, we're doing okay. Not the most stealthy weapon, as you can see. We're a little bit on the detected side right now, but he didn't hit us there, which was lucky. Wonder if we can bounce them under the train there. Probably not. So a little bit of damage over time is a nice bit of icing on the cake as well. But this thing seems to be doing an okay amount of damage, and we can pretty much just probably kill him there. Hopefully. You'll notice that the projectiles are actually affected by each other too. If you have a projectile that explodes near another one, it'll actually push the other one away. Let me just demonstrate this by shooting at sort of flat ground. See? So that's kind of interesting. I guess if you got really good with this, you could sort of bounce it around a wall if you pushed one projectile to the corner and another projectile outside of it. But that's a crazy skill level that you could probably just get better damage with using a direct fire weapon rather than bouncing shit around corners. But it would be satisfying nonetheless, yes. Okay, let's get some more VAT shots on him. Maybe his right arm. We don't have to worry about complete accuracy with this, as long as it gets in his sort of general direction, although we're missing every single shot. What if we go for a critical? Because that's a guaranteed hit. Would that bounce on his arm? No. Okay, looks like VATS is a no-go with this, although he has backed himself into somewhat of a corner there. So if we could just exploit that a little bit without making him get out of his bad path thing there. No, okay, he's definitely out of it this time, so we're in a little bit of trouble. What I'm going to do is sink some chems so we can increase our damage a little bit. I just ate the gun and now I've got superpowers. Also, I did mean to pop that refreshing beverage, but fine. I'm going to go with it anyway. Alright, so let's see if we can't get some good hits on him just by shooting at his feet there. I kind of liked it better when you were sort of locked in place, so I'm just going to lure him around. We've got plenty of endurance, so we can stand up to a little bit more of his punishment these days, so if we could just lure him over here, that's right, Swan. Get yourself stuck in this spot. And now he's bogged down again, he's not moving. So let's see how we do with that extra damage. So we're hitting him for like 800, almost 900, which is alright. If I bounce it around the corner there, does that get him? Yes, there we go. And we got a critical strike thanks to overdrive. Oh, there we go. We've actually hit him for over 1k at this point, so that's alright. Just don't forget to reload it because it'll land you in a lot of trouble if you can't. Also, does he even have collision with this? Am I firing him straight through him? That might be just because of his gargantuan size. Obviously, Bethesda didn't design behemoths to be 3 times the size as they are in the vanilla game. And why would they? This is crazy. But there we go. We seem to be having a good enough time, although we are getting killed right now. He's going to keep throwing rocks at us. We'll get into Nerd Rage in a second, and that'll get us even more damage. So yeah, you just keep on throwing rocks at us. Okay, now it's go time, Swan, so we'll fire 3 over there. I wonder how that'll work, since they're all tightly packed together. They're probably just going to... Yeah, none of them hit. They probably just went all over the place with their explosions, how they sort of push each other out of the way. Oh, I hit him for 5k there. That's some impressive damage, thanks to Destroyer of Arcadia, and also the fact that we've got Nerd Rage going at the same time. Gives us a little bit of extra damage resistance too, so we could tank another rock or two. And there we have it. That was the Lobber Barrel against Swan. Couldn't have done it without the chems, but it is nice to have somewhat of a bonus all the time. And I think you kind of get the point of this weapon. I think the only usable barrel, the only barrel that I'd actually recommend is the Lobber Barrel, because it's got a cool effect. It shoots bouncing electrical explosive projectiles, which are a lot of fun to use. The rest of these barrels, you can do so much better with the plasma gun that is already in the game, despite looking really cool. I really like the look of the sniper one, to be honest. It looks super cool. But yes, despite them being cool as they are, they're all obsoleted by the vanilla game plasma gun, and they don't really do anything different except for this one. This one is the coolest. Use this one. The rest of them at lower level, at not an end game level, you can probably get away with using them, but if you really want to mean business in the late game, then the only one you can sort of get away with using is this, and to that I say this is the recommended one, so use that one. Thank you for watching, guys. Also, it's super easy to kill yourself with this. See? Just be cautious of that too.